Welcome to Deep Dive Daily.
And happy March Madness Day 1. Round of 32 starts today. Getting a little echo on your side. I'm not sure why. We have a, did I say round of 32 starts today? Round of 64. 32 games between today and tomorrow.
No,
determine who gets into
tomorrow.
Corrections and retractions.
We gotta let the research team look at that one.
32 games between today and tomorrow. My head is spinning. There is an awful lot to digest here. I kind of want to start by kind of pointing out, at least for today, some of the bigger market moves that have happened. A lot of support for your High Point. What's High Point?
The Lancers?
High Point Lancers? Question mark?
That was I'm not as good at the mascots I used to be. High Point Sunrise?
Panthers? The Panthers. High Point University mascot is Prowler the Panther, according to AI. So it could be the Lancers.
Cal Baptist Lancers. And I didn't have any gear for any teams that made it. So I got my NC State 83, and this is a twin tat technically, but it's got the Jackrabbits on it.
Oh, good.
Jackrabbits and the and I got Minnesota gear. They didn't make it either. So, woof! I got nobody to cheer for.
Striking out here. So you're onto the High Point Panthers. That was a big move. We saw that go from -9 down to -8. A little bit of action on the over. And I want to talk to you about that, I guess, in a second, just because that's fun storytelling. Arkansas has been bet against. That's out to 5. I kind of expected Arkansas to take money. That one really surprised me. A lot of support for the favorites today.
I don't know if people loved how they played some games late in the season. It feels like it's a big name, but sometimes the coaching seemed a little absent-minded, I think.
Okay. There's been a lot of action on the chalk. I'm having a difficult time finding weak support for the opening favorites as I look up and down the board here for this day, which is that's actually in keeping with sort of the way that I see things. The only dog that really is catching any type of buzz is your High Point, your boys from North Carolina.
Yeah, I mean some of the early stuff comes right away. I mean, there's people just ready to fire on some of these teams early on, and I think. Well, I mean, what's Yale right now?
Let's see. Yale is 7.5. That has that's been indexed, but they are not the hot side.
There were soft 8.5s on open. So I'm saying, like, you know, there's plenty of people who aren't going to bet 5-10K a game that are hitting. It's the same as hitting bet online openers. There are openers during the bracket show that are lower limits, but you can hit them, and if you really want, if you're really looking to get down, they're happening at multiple places. So there were some soft openers that definitely got beat into place, and Yale obviously seemed like one. Yale was tough this year, man. There were another one where, man, it's not fun to write about. Hey, take a -160 favorite in a small tournament, but fuck, they're 13-1, basically off for a while. And the Ivy League has I don't know what it is. There's like certain conferences have that it factor. Maybe it's because the Ivy's so rested up. They don't play in the middle of the week all that much.
Damn, the Celtics just got sold for $6.1 billion. Yeah. Oh my God. Is that the biggest? That's got to be the biggest sale in history. In sports franchise history, right? There's never been a. Oh wait, what were the Commanders? Were probably in that ballpark, right?
The Commanders are like 5 or 6. They're around 6, I believe. I feel like some of the EPL teams might go for more than that.
For sure.
When some baron from United Arab Emirates buys one of those teams for like 10 million.
Yeah. When an Emirati sells it to a Saudi prince and then back to another Emirati. Yeah, those are big numbers.
Like just flipping them like trading cards. Like, I got a LeBron.
Yeah, Man City is not fun anymore. You want to trade a Man City for an Arsenal? Okay. All right. The other kind of general commentary that I want your take on, if you've been betting unders in the tournament to this point, RIP in peace.
R.I.P. in peace. You're
And
back,
also
bro.
like a lot of these totals are starting to get steamed up. What do you think's going on here? And then we can just tell some stories because I don't have much to add. I don't have any hot sides. I don't have any hot bets. I've
No,
a bunch of garbage.
I do have some. I do have some bets.
Yeah.
High Point money line, Montana money line, McNeese money line, Wofford money line. This is me. I mean, this is essentially what when you go to Vegas, this is what I do at the counter. You know, it's like all right, 386 Yale money line. That's not actually the rotation number. I don't know.
Yale 771, Andy. Come on.
Yeah.
You're wasting their time.
Omaha 779 money line. UCSD money line, and of course the Seahawks money line. 8 bets for today. Did you decide on? It's tradition, and actually another tradition that I haven't done yet. I love to do is round robining the 12s.
Oh, of course.
If you every once in a while you'll have that year where 3 of them win, and you end up with a nice little payout. Somebody I seen. It reminds me of an old gambling Twitter account that just kind of flamed out. He crashed out when he started losing, but he was called Draw Better or Parlay Draw Better Soccer or something. He would only bet draws in soccer and only 2-leg parlays. So it'd be 2 like mid to lower level soccer matches to draw. And, a lot of times the draws were 2 or 3 to 1. So these payouts were always 10, 12, 15. Yeah. You get some big numbers if there was a favorite. And so you only had to hit like 1 out of 10 of these draw bets. And it was a fun account. But I saw someone, it was like $760 to win $325,000.
That's a big payout.
But it was a round robin by 2s. Basically every single game round robin with each other, halftime tied. So
oh wow!
I gotta go find this guy now, because if there's one game that starts early, one of these first 4 games that's tied at halftime, he's just got to be sweating every single other game at that point. Which is a ton of fun. That's what you gotta find. You gotta find something enjoyable. It's like the guys in Vegas with the first to 15, those are just a lot of.
Is the first 15?
It depends on the book. A lot of the old school is first to 15. I know Circuit has 10, 20, and 30 now, I believe. Your Survivor League, did you decide? Did you get scared off Wisconsin? Are you going to Wisconsin?
I split it up. So I have 3 entries. I went 1 quasi chalky with Wisconsin, 1 Missouri, and 1 Gonzaga. Gonzaga, I would say, was a little bit of a contrarian pick because they're not 80% to win today. But if they do win today, I think they're pretty likely to lose to Houston. So fire them now, see if we can get the 8 points. There wasn't anyone really outside of the top 8 who I think has any kind of meaningful chance to win today. So I didn't get squirrely really at all with even my third. I didn't even waste an entry there. But I will say, so story time about the totals. 2 years ago, a very, very what's the right word? A generous follower tipped me off to the Wilson Balls and the Wilson Ball Virgins, and the fact that there was a lot of buzz that the conference tournaments that were using the Wilson Balls, there was just endless complaining from coaches and players about how slippery they were. And when you broke down the data from those conference tournaments, it suggested that the turnovers were very high. Shooting was down. Free throw shooting was down. So pretty clearly there was an impact on the balls that were, because of the balls that were affecting the way teams were able to score. And that was influencing the totals to the bad, right? So there was a fundamental structural misprice on every total in those conference tournaments. And it was kind of entirely based on the idea and the nugget that the teams that had not used the Wilson Virgins, the teams that had not used the Wilson ball before, just were not prepared for how slippery that ball was. Carrying that into day 1 and day 2 of the tournament, if you took every team that had not played with the Wilson ball and you took their that team, the first half under in those games, it was absolute insanity printing money. I want to say 17 games qualified where neither team had used the Wilson ball, and it went like 14-3 between the first two games. And that got me very excited for last year, where we went and did exhaustive research on every single team and how often they had used the Wilson ball and which conferences tournaments were using the Wilson ball. And then everything went very sideways because either they fixed the ball or the coaches knew, or a little bit of both. And
I think
everybody
it
was
probably
prepared
the
for
latter. I think it was probably a little bit of both. Maybe they did do some reworking on the ball, but I think all it takes is a week of practice with a different ball, and suddenly it's not slipping out of your hands 14 times a game.
That was why the angle was first half only. It's because even after half of using it, players were adjusting to it. Like, it didn't take long.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I know some people love the first half unders in the first round of the tournament as well, which historically is like 58 or so, something like that, over the last 10 years or something. It is 0-4. So if you forgot, now's a good time. Now's a good time to jump in, maybe, unless you think there's actually a signal to that.
Regression to the mean, Andy. There's going to be 4-0 in these first four games. Do you see how early these tip-offs are? Early games always go under first half. It's I will just say, like, if you hear anyone peddling the Wilson ball nonsense this year, it's dead. You're like 2 years too late. I don't even know. It's been quite a while since there was signal there, but that's fine. That was the one-off. I will also say
fun one.
It was a fun one.
Did you? I got a bracket question. Did you? Yeah. Are you a? This is my bracket, and it's my bracket in any contest I enter. Yeah, or are you multiple bracket guy?
I'm a bracket I'm a bracket monogamist.
There's people that are like strong feelings about that. Oh, we filled out multiple brackets.
I have a different take. Very lazy.
Yeah. I normally I've done multiple, usually 2 or 3 different versions because of depending on the contest size. This year I'm only in a couple.
Do you know how hard it would be to have multiple wives, like trying to keep track of everything, and like I can't even with that.
BYU, Ed, BYU. Oh my God!
BYU VCU today, by the way, is the game of the day. Yeah,
I do a separate bracket.
That one's gonna be good.
My home league with the the 4 of us, and then in pen on paper, hand graded after each round.
I love that.
And my 10-year-old I looked at his this morning, and he's
going back to the well.
He did 100%. He 100% put UConn in the finals. I think he has Houston beating UConn because he's just like every morning he'd wake up. Did UConn win? Or every other buddy, UConn didn't play today, but they're playing tomorrow and they're probably gonna win. He was so pumped. He didn't even win the bracket, but anyway, his bracket was filled out a couple days ago. Apparently, he had American University in the Final Four.
No.
And he's like, well, Dad, that's where we're from. I'm like, yeah, but here's the thing. And this was yesterday before they even played. I'm like, they don't win very often. And my wife's like, just let him pick who he wants to pick. But this morning, and the tournament hasn't started, so I think this is fair play to help him. I said, buddy, they didn't even win their play-in game. Like, literally, even if you believe in this team, the rules of basketball will not let them win this game against Duke. You can either pick Mount St. Mary's or you can pick Duke, and he did end up chalking it and putting Duke into that.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh man. Well, when Duke loses to Mount St. Mary's, you're gonna have a serious conversation.
He's not gonna tell him. He's not gonna watch the games. He's
I can tell you this: if UConn does make a run this tournament, I'm going to say there's a 50-50 chance he wants to go to UConn as far as when it comes to colleges. Like, I think there's a decent chance already that UConn has captured his imagination, and you may get a random. I kind of want to go to UConn, Dad. I think it's in the cards. It's possible. Stores Connecticut. Go check it out.
He doesn't understand that. He doesn't understand leaving home. We told him that. He's like, why wouldn't I live with you guys? I'm like, what do you mean? You never want to like go be? No, I like you guys. Like, oh, but I think you'll feel differently. But yeah, he looked. We told him how college worked. He looked fucking hurt that we would even consider not having him live with us at some point in his life because it's just all he knows. I'm like, I don't know. I guess I hadn't thought of that. I'm sorry. It's just people do move out of their parents' house. I guess if some of the gambling Twitter people that are listening, maybe
not everyone. It's not for everyone.
Yeah, maybe
moving out of moving out of your parents' house isn't for everyone, but it's for most people. Oh, that's wild, man. Okay, well, let's kind of wrap up early here so people can get to their college hoops enjoyment for the day. Hopefully you got some fun stuff planned and you don't have to do too much work. Again, like if you'll be in Vegas, I'll be at the watch along at the couches in the Cosmo, and probably just at the Cosmo generally. If you come through and you're there, hit me up somewhere. Come say hey, have a drink. Gonna do some big boy drinking this weekend. Any other final thoughts? Any other final stories that you want to share with the folks?
No, just do your own thing, man. You can be the guy who bets every game. You can be the guy who bets, very selectively. Don't let others dictate how you do your tournament. Everybody does it. Like when I'm in Vegas, I'm betting every game for the most part, just because it seems like what you have to do. When you're at home, it is a little different. I'll find some here or there, but I mean, at one point I was betting there was a Saturday or Sunday where I bet every first half, every second half of every game. It turned out okay. It wasn't actually a bad day, but sometimes you just need the action, guys.
I would also kind of say a couple other tips. You're joking a little bit, I think, about being at the counter. Like, be respectful.
Know what you're gonna bet.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
please.
I murder people.
Oh my god. Yeah. It's like phenomenally disrespectful not to have your shit together when you get to the counter.
It's the guy at the gas station who is like, I'll take one of those $5 scratchers, and
it's even worse than that.
That other one, the crossword.
Oh, the line is so long, and if you're up at the front and you're looking for like what's the line on VCU BYU again, and you're like, buddy, it's 1:00. This game tips in 5 minutes. Get your fucking shit together. Just be respectful for the people behind your line, please. Yeah,
that was one of the huge benefits of being downtown a couple of these times was like, oh no, this line isn't gonna make it in time. I'm going across the street. Just maybe I'll have better luck there. You can literally just walk to a shittier casino, and there's a couple of those. Like, well, going to the Four Queens.
Yeah, it's not a bed. Like the tellers are pretty patient somehow. Like when you go to a racetrack, they don't deal with that. If you don't have your track, race, dollar, wager type, horse number, like they don't know the names of the horses. Like, oh, they won't tolerate that.
Some are nicer than others, but I've seen that where a kid tried to just say the name of the horse.
Step out of line.
This lady was not having it.
Out of line. We have a long line of people we have to get behind you who know how to bet. Please get out of line. But that's where the kiosks were made for those people. Final tip. If you are traveling to Vegas, for instance, and you are in pools or you're doing things on apps that are geo-locked where they won't work there, make sure you get all your shit in before you go there.
Yeah,
that's bit me in the ass before.
Golf, if you did golf DFS, that stuff's already in because the tournament has started. I haven't even checked. I haven't turned the golf on this morning. They pulled a 2 hours late on me this morning. School's 2 hours late, and then right as I'm gonna get the kids ready to go,
they cancel.
They call. They're like, icy roads, can't do it. I'm like, I'm gonna look up the superintendent, see where she went to school, because I feel like it's probably somebody who plays today.
Yeah,
because it wasn't. The roads are dry. I mean, the country roads are shit, but the highway, dry.
I love it.
Just called even the kids were like, "Are you serious? You just they thought I was messing with them." No, you can stay home, have fun.
Okay, well, good job.
Paramount Plus is where the games are.
Yeah, today the Seahawks bust some brackets. I love it, Woodleaf.
Straka's starting out hot. Let's go.
Okay.
Gonna watch some Valspar.
let's wrap this up. We will be back for Friday. It is going to be a true fuck off Friday. I think in general, Fridays are going to be fuck around Fridays. We probably won't talk unless something absolutely insane happens today.
We'll have a Severance finale review.
Whoa. Well, no spoilers, please, because I am saving
No,
that.
I will not. We'll not do that. I would never